Your rook c3 counterattack mate, and the promotion to a knight is just, I mean, it's hilarious stuff. Torch has been on fire as of late, giving up all of its pieces in all of these games. Here's a game that I played against the Dutch bot Rofgade. Dutch folks, y'all name things in a way that is very difficult to pronounce for a dumb American like myself. So I'm just gonna say Rofchade. That's how an American would pronounce it. D4, we have what's called a Benoni, kind of like a like a like an Indian defense, like the Indian game.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and YouTube Music Premium, a whole app just for streaming music. Uninterrupted. Try 1 month free.
Black plays e6 and then plays b5. Now this is actually called the Blumenfeld. It's called the Blumenfeld counter gambit. And in a nutshell, the idea is to go here and take a pawn. So white is a pawn up, but black gets a big center. I've played this on both sides, and I don't understand it with either color, which is sort of how you play chess. So, you know, I can't really vouch for this either way, but in this game, Torch plays bishop g5, which is considered the main move. Now, you may ask yourself, isn't this a free pawn? And I would basically answer that by saying yes, but then white gets a really big center, knight c3, white wins this pawn back, so it's not exactly a free pawn. b4. Knight a6, and the reason why this opening is not good for computer chess, computers really are good at dominating positions where they have a space advantage, and they're really good at dominating positions where pieces are offside. Like, you know, not like football offside, but, you know, on the edge of the board, not like behind the enemy pieces. This knight just can't really get back into the game so easily. Humans don't really capitalize these advantages that well, but computers are and this game is just so brutal. And the next two games are just absolutely ridiculous. D takes, F takes. You know, white just developing normally, and like a normal human being here, just castles, and, you know, black plays bishop e7, and we just play a normal game of chess, as you can see from the evaluation. Yeah, these things are not normal, though. The big gorilla just beat the other big gorilla, so now it's going to go fight a medium-sized gorilla. And in this position, Torch plays h4, for no reason. I mean, really, there is, like, absolutely no reason to play this move. And by the way, this is Stockfish, this eval bar, so we have Torch, Rofgade, and we have Stockfish on the sidelines going, I have taught you very well. h4, bishop b7, and now we see the purpose of the move pawn to h4. Bishop takes f6. You say, okay, oh, I get it. Oh, white wants to go knight g5. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. After bishop takes g5, h takes g5, now we have a big attack. If pawn to g6, I got news for you. That doesn't stop anything. Rook h7. Look at this. Queen h5 check, you can't take. It's forced mate. Oh, I get it. Well, the idea is to put the knight on g5. But what if black goes here? Ah, yeah, that kind of stops everything, doesn't it? Yeah, that's a problem. Well, you see how this thing just spiked? Stockfish sees what Torch sees in this position. So you can't go knight g5. At first glance in this position, the computer goes, okay, well, you know, I got g4 and rook g1, and that's, you know, that's my idea. Can't go knight g5 anymore. Frankly, can't really move the knight anymore, but backwards, and that's not what we want. So in this position, Torch plays a move that the black computer did not even see. When this move came on the board, the black computer went, God damn it. What? Is this dude cheating? It's funny. Funny joke. In this position, Torch played the move, knight to d4. Which just looks like you're 500. I mean, it just looks like you hung a knight. Now, what is the idea of this? The idea of losing the knight, obviously, is to open the queen, right? Well, that's easy. Queen g4 check. No. Queen h5. No. f5. It's called interpose. I just get in the way of your attack. I just block your vision. What? Then what is the idea? Knight d4. I don't understand. cd4. Well, the idea is that you sacrifice another piece. I don't get it. What? King h7. So what? Queen h5? King g7. How do I... Oh. Oh. Now we see why. Now we see why the move h4 was so powerful. Because it wasn't just about advancing or anchoring the knight, it was a rook lift, which is why White waited to castle. Rook g3 is mate. The only way to stop this is to maybe hide your king. Rook g3, king f8, queen h6, king f7, queen h7, rook g8, and then I win your queen. Oh my god, knight d4. And at this point, Rovchade goes, all right, you know what? I'm not going to get mated. I'm going to have to just lose a pawn. And probably my rook. Knight to d4. Knight to d4 is the... and the idea of which is to give up a second piece to hunt out the black king to the g file where it has no oxygen and just hunt it to its death. Queen h6 and made it in the center of the board with a pawn. I mean, this... What? So instead of that, Rovchade decides to lose a big amount of material, and the rest of this game is textbook. Activate the queen. There are two ways to win a winning position. Simplify down to a winning endgame or deliver a checkmate. And this way, Torch very cleanly defends against the pressure, wins as many pawns as possible, and it's going to go trade, or maybe not. It's going to push its h-pawn all the way to h7. Black is defenseless. King f2. And let's see if the bot has a sense of humor or if it's going to spare its opponent. King f2, rook g... I mean, look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god, and now rook g7 check, brutal, giving up a rook, returning to the g8 square. Do you see this? The bot has a sense of humor. What is the best move in this position? Making a queen. Obviously, making a queen. Instead, it plays king f2. Do you know why it plays king f2? Because it can. It can queen on the next move. The bot is such a scumbag, it plays king f2. What? King to c8. Now it trades, now it makes a queen, and now it comes back and it takes, and you know. I feel like these computers have one move every game where they just disrespect. d6, queen c7, no stalemate, and a checkmate has been delivered. This dude really played, it played king to f2. And knight to d4 was just otherworldly. I got two more games for you. These are against Leela, which is basically the number 2, number 3 ranked bot in the world, besides Stockfish. And yeah, my friends, what you're about to watch is just, oh my god, it's real bad. Oh, it's real bad. Let me take a sip of coffee. I'm gonna need it for this. This is this is crazy stuff. Okay. Ready? Okay. Here we go. e4. d6. This is called a check Pierz. This is the Pierz with g6 and bishop g7. This is the check Pierz. f4. Queen a5, pinning the knight to the king. Bishop d3 defending the center. Black plays e5. Torch locks the center. So the dark squares are a bit weak, right? Opportunity to fight on the dark squares for black, but white has a nice space advantage, and as you can imagine, might attack over here if given the opportunity. And that is why in this position, white plays knight h3. White does not play knight f3. White wants to defend the pawn on g4 if it makes it there. All right, so this is already a very clear indication from Torch that I'm going to play g5 and I'm going to attack you, which is why black plays h6. Torch plays bishop c4, okay? Pressure here, potential to play g5. Now, Torch cannot very quickly castle queenside because black will go here. If Torch does succeed in castling queenside, like this, Torch is going to get a fantastic attacking position. Down the center, down the king side. Okay, terrific. Bishop c4. Bishop b4. Bishop d2. And black comes in with the queen. A lot of pressure. Pressure on the knight, the bishop, the pawn, the bishop, the diagonal. And, you know, knight f2 is good here. h4, g5, trying to make some preparations. Rook d1, long castle. No, Torch plays g5. Okay, obviously the point being that if pawn takes, the knight goes, and then there's good pressure here. But I got a question. What about g5, bishop takes? Right? Point being that you're going to lose the pawn. That's the whole idea. So you're going to lose the pawn on e4. And after you lose the pawn on e4, you're going to have to trade queens. Well, that's really unpleasant. So what is Torch going to do about this position? Well, if you had the attention span to watch 19 minutes of this video, you're going to be very happy with what I am about to show you, because this is sick, okay? This is sick stuff. Obviously, white has to trade the queen. White's just got to figure out a way to do it, because the rook is hanging. So, for example, if white castles here, you know, you're going to lose this, and then this is going to come here, and then you're going to lose this. It's going to be really unpleasant. So, with the rook hanging and the queen staring at each other, in this position, Torch plays pawn takes knight. Wait. Torch sacrifices the rook. But it doesn't come back to defend itself. It sacrifices another rook. What? In one move, it just lost both rooks. Look at Stockfish. A move ago, Stockfish had no idea what was going on. It was thinking that this is equal. And suddenly, look at that eval. Look at that eval. Stockfish is like, oh yeah, we cooking now. We cooking now. The idea is to butcher the black position down the center line. Because white is playing with a queen, a knight, a bishop, and 2 pawns. 9 plus 9 plus 2. 20 points of material at the king. Black has 2 rooks, but they're in the corner. I mean, black is basically playing with 2 pieces of material that are just not in the game at all. How does black stop this onslaught? Knight takes e5. If queen takes e5 check, the bishop will block, and then black will castle. So black is moments away from defending themselves with bishop e5, knight e5, which is why before Torch takes with check, it flicks in this move. For a moment, Torch is down 10 points of material, and yet Torch is completely winning. This is unbelievable stuff. Torch is completely winning despite being 10 points down. Why? Because black has to defend the rook, black has to defend the knight, and black has to defend the king. Rook g8, now I come to collect, and now a very important move, my friends. If you take like this, oh is a check. You know how you prevent that? By taking with the bishop. Black cannot castle into a check. If black gives a check, I run here. I also have a block check, which is crazy. So instead of that, the king would just run. But in the game, black goes here, trying to go queen takes g7, bringing the rook, and white's king just walks out to c3, walks out to b3, and blocks. The queen, the rook, not powerful enough to attack the king. F takes e6, the pawn sneaks through, mate is threatened, f7 is threatened, black is on the verge of death. The only chance that black has here is a perpetual check, so black sacrifices their own rook. Queen b2, queen b1, the king is in the center of the board, but the king is going over here to get the support of his pieces. King f3, king g3, king h4, and when it comes this far, the queen slides back. Mate is now not a thing, but we get into an endgame where Torch has a horse, and it's good to be on a horse. If you remember the Old Spice commercials of the old days, h5, h4, and white is just going to convert the game by winning the black pawns, knight f4, king c3. You'll notice that Torch hasn't even taken this pawn because it has a sense of humor. Like, it literally just has a sense of humor. The pawn's not going anywhere. Finally, it takes a4, a5. White is pushing on both sides of the board, a5, and it makes a queen, queen e4. It doesn't need a second queen. It knows how to checkmate, geometrically restricting the black king to only one legal move, and queen to g7 check. This was one of the most absurd attacks I've ever seen. Just when it looked like black had stopped white's initiative, taking the knight, sacrificing 2 rooks. Oh my god. And it just absolutely blasts open the center of the board, prevents the black king from castling, walks the white king to the edge and blocks the attack, and wins this in a convincing endgame. And the best part of this video is that I have one more game for you. Listen, you know my videos, they're about 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. You know, you can enjoy this with a meal or while taking a shower or while driving. You know, hopefully you don't watch the screen while you drive, unless you drive a Tesla, because I think they have the big screen. But I got one more game for you, and then you can go. Yeah, Torch has really been on a roll. We have another Benoni. Last time we had this. Remember knight f3 b5 in the second game of the video from the opening? Remember this? Looks the same. That's not what we got in this one. Knight c3. This is a real Benoni. Black plays d6. Black wants to advance a6 b5. Black wants to play here, play on the e file after castling. White, very common idea is to play knight d2 to put the knight on c4 to put pressure. Also to prevent a6 b5 by playing a4. All of that is going to happen. Knight c4, a4. You see, I wouldn't lie to you. Now, white sets up very comfortably, defends the pawn on d5, disallows black from getting very typical play. And as always, Torch is going to start an attack. g4. Of course. Bishop g5. Leela takes the knight because it wants to play f5. There it is, and it wants to play f4. So what does Torch do? Puts the bishop on the home square. You see, pawns cannot go backwards. I know you didn't know that before you clicked on this video. Pawns can't go backwards. Once you commit a pawn forward, that's it. So Torch is basically left like, all right, so what are you going to do with this? You play f4, that looks interesting. I'm going to play e3. So what are you going to do? Well, here's what I'm going to do. I move my bishop out of the way so my pawns can go forward. You thought you were attacking me? It's like judo, all right? You get closer, I step back, I use your momentum against you. Flip. Right? Takes. e4. Bishop g5. f4. And now here comes the attack roaring forward. Now, Stockfish, as always, is just kind of saying, hey, it's still a complicated game. Look at black coming out with the queen. You could defend this pawn. Instead of that, we give it up completely. We say, all right, come and take it. You want it so bad, come and take it. Now we're trying to trap the black queen in the position. Black queen escapes to b4. Now rook a4. Oh, all right, looking a little bit unpleasant, but now c4. Very well timed. Very well timed move. You take the queen, I take the queen, and then I sneak in. The queen can get out to c5 now. So now we kind of try to, prevent that. Position looking nice. So right now, Leela, up a pawn, up a pawn. Everything is good, everything is good. But white's got more space. You want to play where you're stronger in the center. e5. All right, knight b6, counterattacking the rook. The rook slides out of the way. Knight h5. Opening up the f file, maybe rook e8. It's a very tense position. Now white plays king h2. Gets off of this, gets out of a check potentially. It covers the g3 square. h6, now white goes into hunt. But that was black's idea. Now we take on e5, attacking the queen. The queen takes. Pressure here, eyes over on g7. Potential to push both the pawns. Be a little careful though, queens can see each other. Rook f2, check, but we block. We take, but rook c7. Oh my goodness, wait a minute, what's happening? Pressure there, this is hanging. Bit of a tongue twister of a position. Now rook takes the knight. Rook takes b7, rook e8. I mean, it's a very close game. All right, Torch is just very slowly and methodically applying pressure and has the pawns, but how is Torch actually going to break through here? Queen e5, rook b8. We're looking for a rook trade. The bishop drops back, hits the queen. The rook sees the rook, the rook sees the rook, the rook sees the queen sees the rook, but the rook can't take the queen because the rook is pinned to the king. Queen a4. And here we go. You ready? Rook a2! Hitting the queen, prying the defensive away from the rook in the corner. Takes. The king slides out of the way. Now, rook e7. Putting the pressure here and here and here, and the d-pawn can still go. Rook g3, counterattacking. That's mate. That is a checkmate. So we give a check. The bishop blocks. Now we push. Anywhere the bishop moves is a discovered attack. The bishop runs away, sacrificing itself so the pressure is relieved, but it's a fork. That was the big idea. If you take, it's a fork. White says, no problem. Take the queen. I get the bishop. I get the rook. You take the queen, no problem. And guess what? Queen b3. Did Torch miss something? Because Torch is going to lose a bishop. No. +5. How is it +5? Like this. f6 check. Pawn blocks. And now you would think f7, right? No, because queen d6. And it's a draw. So you know how Torch is going to win this game? All the way back here, you know how Torch is going to win this game? Watch the king. This is one of the most gangster king walks I've ever seen. The king goes to f4, and to win the game, the king joins his forces, joins his troops. Check is no longer possible, and if you check the king from the other side, the king continues to move forward, shielded by his soldiers. Pawn to d6, bishop to b7, sliding into d7, and now the rook sacrifices itself to promote a queen, and the white king makes it all the way to the other side of the board to facilitate the advancement of the d-pawn. Queen to d4, d8 queen, takes, queen e7, and you think you know the rest. Queen to g8, I mean, what a... That came out of nowhere. It was a tense position. White was improving the position, creating winning chances. Bishop to e8 looked like you couldn't take because of the fork. Torch took and gave up the queen, and the king walks to the opposite side of the board to win this game. White only won this game because the king defended everybody and created a fortress around himself to advance. And that's what won the game, ultimately by checkmate on the g8 square. Torch has been on fire, creating highlight reels against Stockfish, against random other bots that are rated like 3,500. Leela, I can't wait to see where this goes. Very, very fun to track. And yeah, let me know if you like the Torch videos, because I'm going to keep making them. That's all I have for you today. You know the drill. Check out the book, How to Win at Chess. Available in the US, available in the UK. Check out Waterstones, use code LevyChessWin, get 25% off for now. If you're watching this in the future, it's no longer a thing. Arpa Editores en España. Si tú hablas español, puedes comprar mi libro en pre-order. I think that's how you say it in Spanish. Puedo hablar español un poco, pero... and I don't know how to speak German, but it's available in Germany too quite soon. God bless, and I will see you in the next video. Get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite series on the internet, Guess the ELO. In this series, I analyze my subscriber games live on stream, and then I try to predict their chess playing strength on chess.com. And that's about it. And that is about the last bit of peace that you are going to have in your life, because this episode of Guess the ELO was absolutely, positively, completely, comprehensively stupid beyond belief. And before we jump into these games, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN, or a virtual private network, that allows you to encrypt your connection to the internet so you can browse it privately and anonymously. And here's 3 reasons why you might need a VPN. Number 1, you like watching shows like The Office, or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or something else. And one day, due to production or licensing contracts, it's your worst nightmare. Your show's no longer available. Well, if you use Surfshark, you can actually connect to a different country's catalog, and bam, your favorite show might return. Number 2, connecting to a sensitive portal like a bank or a credit card. Not to mention, a lot of tech companies already have their employees using VPN while working. But let's say you're traveling and you're connecting to an unsecure network at your local hotel. A VPN can secure that connection so you're able to log in with confidence. And speaking of traveling, the number 3 reason to use a VPN, geo-pricing. Next time you're looking for airfare or hotels, try to use Surfshark to change your connection location. Sometimes you can save big, depending on where you're connecting from. And my friends, there's never been a better time to try out Surfshark. They are running a huge Black Friday special. Surfshark Starter gets you 4 free months, Surfshark One gets you 5 free months, and Surfshark One gets you 6 free months. At this point, you know how this works. If you're interested in Surfshark, click the link in the description. You'll no longer lose your favorite shows, and you can even save some money on your holiday travel plans. Now let's get back to the video. Okay. YouTube is never gonna know that we recorded 2 episodes back to back because I changed hoodies, and I'm not going to put this into YouTube. I'm going to edit it right here. D4. London. F5. Okay. London. Solid. Stonewall set up by black. Nice. Nice. Okay. Bishops are having a staring contest. That's actually probably a top computer move, but I never play that move. I don't like that move, but I guess it's fine. Yeah, now I would change the plan to c4, knight c3, but white does knight d2. Yeah, you're not really supposed to play knight d2 unless this survives. Knight d2 only makes sense with the stone wall, with the structure intact. Now you should play for c4, knight c3, so you can actually put some meaningful pressure on the position. Okay, knight d2, a3. Yeah, your position is, yeah, see, if you're going to play c4, the knight belongs on c3. Okay, takes. Now knight b3 and go after this. Or play the top computer move, because I don't understand anything about chess. This is crazy. White is playing better moves than I would play. What? Wow, queen h. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a mate here. This is like the boomerang. You go in, you get the move taken, and then you come back. Queen g6. GG. Mate, if takes, H file is open, you come back. That's very tough to see. Very, very tough to see. All right. Rook d1, misses it. Okay, now... Oh, that's really bad. Oh, all the advantage is gone now. Oh, no. Whoa, what just happened? All the advantage is gone. Everything is gone. What? You had to go for the kill there. Uh-oh. Oh, something's wrong here. Uh-oh. Oh, here comes the attack roaring in. Yeah, queen h6 is mate. And bishop g7 and rook c8. Bishop g7, rook c8. Wow. Wow, the second wave of attack delivered, and black resigns because rook g7, rook c8 infiltrates along the back rank, and wow, move away from getting mated yourself, probably. What the? That was a crazy game. That was like, what? That was super high level. Super high level. Wow. Very, very, very well played game. Okay. I wouldn't have taken here, but I guess white saw nothing better. Okay, here's my guess. 2100 or 1200. For the first time, because I really don't know. I actually don't know. Like, this could either be a super master level game or trash. Like, just super, super, like, lucky. I don't think this is played by, like, a 1600. I just don't get that vibe. I think white played either accidentally genius or white is just straight up like 2300. Like, but I can't decide. I'm gonna say like 2100. So let's see. I would. Wow. This person submitted, I think, once before. I said 2100. Yeah, 22 versus 23. Wow. Yeah, they were even better than I thought. Nice. Good start. Good start. And people are now submitting to guess the ELO by, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I can't even see your usernames anymore when you submit because Discord just made it super easy to, like, hide all that. Or, like, I had, like, streamer mode on, so I used to track, like, who submitted before. But I mean, I don't really mind if somebody submits multiple times. It's kind of fun. That was a very well played game. 21. I thought black played... I thought the reason it was 21, I thought black played a bit carelessly. But white played quite well. Yeah, пиво в руке, мат на доске. Which means beer in hand, made on board. Okay. E4, D6, knight F3, knight F6, конь C3, G6, D4, slon G7, alfil F4, enroque corto E5. Con un ataque en el caballo en F6. Okay. Okay. I don't know how to say anything else. I can only speak Russian and Spanish. I can't speak anything else. Takes. Okay, trade the queens. Nice. What the f... Okay, I'm just gonna guess like 700. I don't... King D1? What? All I know, because I like watching MMA and there's a lot of Mexican fighters, they always end their interviews with Viva Mexico, cabrones! Which is always very fun. I enjoy when they yell. I mean, not playing Rook takes D1 here is like criminal. So, white had a hanging bishop and proceeded to play this move, which not only attacks the knight and propels it into the capture of the bishop, it also blunders the pawn, which proceeds to create two threats, one of which is an attack on the knight, and this, which is really something. That is really special. So that is good. Wow. That is impressive. Now, that did not happen. Instead, the bishop was simply captured. Bishop there. Okay, nice. Nice. Bishop d5. Okay, wow. Losing to a triple fork. Okay, so this seems like one of the games that was submitted because the Gotham sub just played really well. Sometimes they do that, they play really well. By the way, it is better to take the knight than to take the rook for the bishop. Why do you play so bad today? Not my game. Dude thought this was my game. Oh my. Oh my. Wow. Wow. Dude said, wow, what? Okay. I mean, black did not make it. Black played straight up a perfect game of chess. So, if these two are the same level, then like 1100, but I don't think these two are the same level. I think this is like a person that played a streamer, because you know sometimes people do that. They submit games that are really big mismatches. If they're the same level, then I think that it's like 1000 to 1100, because I think black just played way too well. I'd say like 1000, but I think, yeah, really weird. Really, really weird. Very weird. Very weird. I have no idea. Let's see. So, I said if they were the same rating, then they would be 1100. It's 903 versus 1380, so it's a huge mismatch. But I mean, black also did play very well. But yeah, I mean, I think probably black performed at like 2000. I mean, seriously, black did not make like a single inaccuracy. That was crazy. The winner of the game is the player who makes the next to last mistake. What if the guy makes like 80 mistakes? I said 2000 and it gave him 1950. Damn. Me and Chesscom, we align, baby. That's why you guys watch the series. I straight up said he played like a 2000, and then Chess.com was like, yup, Chad. Wow. But your 1800 bullet, that's impressive. But, you know, don't submit games where you beat somebody 400 points lower. I feel like that messes with things, you know? Because I was like, they were way too lopsided in ability. You know? But that was, yes, guys, yes. If a person won a nice game, it means they cheated. Yes. Thank you, chat. Very good. So... You actually, that's okay if you click, no problem. No problem. If you pretend to want a game review, will you make it into the YouTube video? Probably. Probably. Guys, why are some of you like fighting each other in the comments? You realize like the comments end up on YouTube. Your argument with a random chat member is going to be, it's like if you got into a fight with somebody at your local bus stop, you know, in your town, and then it made it to YouTube. Like, it's embarrassing. Just behave. Just watch the show, you know? The secondhand embarrassment would kill me. I could never. Even before I had a career in social media. Like, I could never in a million years get into like a fight with somebody like in politics. I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be like, oh my God, ew. Just want to behave myself. You know? Come on, guys. Go argue in a Discord server somewhere. Oh my God. Sometimes I'm trying to like go through guest the You guys like, man, don't talk to me, man. You say it to my face, man. Damn, man. All right, anyway. D4, D5. Albin, counter gambit. Albin, gambit. Nice. Oh, bishop B4. Crazy. Dude straight up doesn't know the trap of the Albin gambit. I mean, I'm not sure you would have landed it, but come on, dude. Crazy. Oh my God, now you can't even play. Oh God. Oh. Okay. If this game is 4 digits, I'm not doing the rest of the episode. Okay? Okay? If this game 4 digits, the next 2 games are not happening. The pawn on d4 is just hanging. It's just a free pawn. When you play a gambit, you have to justify the positioning. You have to play bishop b4. So this dude watched the video. How many of you guys have done that? You watch a YouTube short, and you guys are just like, oh, I watched the Gotham Albin counter gambit YouTube. You watch the video that's like, here's the way you talk to a girl. We'll start with d4, d5. You know, you guys have seen enough of my content. This is how you talk to a girl. We'll start with d4, d5, c4, e5. This is the Albin counter gambit. Now d, e, d4, you know, and after e3, you play bishop. Then you just forget. And then I disconnected the camera. That's very funny. The camera is officially disconnected. Hilarious. There we go. That was the camera. The camera got excited. All right. Terrible. Oh my goodness, what a move! He's gonna take the bishop! He's gonna take the bishop! But no, b takes c5. Takes. What? It's a crazy game. Oh my God, knight b5, nasty. But then you lose the pawn. Apocalyptic. Takes. Bishop takes. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, fork. Still forked. Still forked. Still forked, bro. He's still forked. Nah. Y'all trolling. Stop it. Somebody make a move. Bro. Thank God. Oh my God. Still forked. Oh, f3. This game feels like a troll game. This straight up feels like two people who are just like, why did you abandon your pawns? Dude, definitely. What? What? Draw? It's winning. I mean, white has more pawns. It's got to be winning. I don't know how, but it's not my job to figure it out. I gotta think how it's winning. Maybe it's not winning. I mean, it was winning before, but wow. Maybe it's not winning. But there was like there was negative opening knowledge. I mean, oh my goodness. Negative. Disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, I hate this. What about the... But then, you know, then this. Okay, luck or skill? Luck or skill? Was this lucky? It looks like skill to me. I want to amend what I said previously. This might actually be... Wow. Avoiding the doubling, still not taking. Crazy. Wow. Walking the king up. What was the thought process here? Was it like this? Was that? But you completely lose. Like, you completely lose the race. I mean, even if you play... You push your most advanced pawn, you just lose the race by far. So, aside from this random move, 1300? 13 to 1400 maybe? 13, 1400? I think probably like 1300, I would say. I'm gonna say 1300. Pre-move? That was the only mistake, really. I'm gonna say 1300. There's no way it's 700. Stop. No way. $13.80 versus $14.40. Get absolutely clowned. 700. That's why I do the Guess the Elo, and that's why you watch it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, how much time was left when that move happened? Yeah, Ramadoka not taking is Bonnet. What's up, Ramadoka? I mean, that is... Dude thought for a minute! Dude thought for a minute on this move! Boss, next time somebody offers you 2 pawns in a pawn endgame, like, you just got to take them. Like, there's a really, really, really good chance. Really good chance that it's winning, but... Because the tough thing here is to not go after the pawn. The tough thing is like eat, and then boing and bing, and you win. Wow. Yeah, I don't even have to do the game review for that one. That was, yeah. I mean, the opening was awful, but I thought that they played way too controlled in the middle game. I think that, like, the middle game like, DE was crazy. No. I amended it. I amended my guess. I said in the middle that, you know, I from the opening, I thought they were really, really low rated, but then it got better, so. How do I feel about Hikaru having 4 times the amount of viewers as me right now? You haven't written a message in 10 months. And 10 months ago, you wrote, when are you becoming a GM? And 6 months prior to that was your previous message. Boss, I can't help but feel like you try to come here to say negative things to me. Now we're gonna pause to Guess the Elo for a minute or two. YouTube is gonna be here for this as well. I would like you to tell me why you come here every 6 to 10 months just to try to get under my skin. Please proceed. That's what Twitch is for. That's what he said. He said Twitch is for that. Not just Twitch. You must be on Kick. Because you are watching Hikaru there as well. How do I feel about it? Don't feel bad at all. You want my honest answer? I barely stream. I stream like 3-4 times a month. You know why I stream? To play Title Tuesday and record Guess the Elo. You know why I don't stream? Number 1, dealing with folks like you. Number 2, and on a more serious note, it's not worth the hours for me to put in. So, YouTube, you're getting a little glimpse. You know, I like making YouTube videos because I can make a nice, fun piece of content and package it well, you know? So, I don't mind if Hikaru has 4 times as many viewers. You know what I'm happy about? I'm happy people are still watching chess. So, and I think the stream just crashed. For like the 4th time today. So, YouTube heard that beautiful story of mine, and now the stream crashed. Tough. Wow. All right. Well, I guess we're going to have to finish this Guess the ELO recording. D4! F5. Dutch defense. C4. Knight F6. YouTube, if Twitch never comes back, it's just going to be us, and we're going to power through. That's what's going to happen. Here we go. Knight F6. Knight C3. G6. Dutch defense. Leningrad variation. Pawn to F3. White is trying to play pawn to E4. It's not a very good move, but it's also not the dumbest move in the world. I think I actually covered this in the Dutch course. So, D6, E4, Bishop G7, yep. And now White has a lot of issues kind of trying to defend the position. A3. E5, okay. Yep. Bring the knight back. Nice. Castles. Now, what I would play is H6, and I would stop these pieces from getting any activity here, and then I would create an attack on this side of the board. That's what I would do. But White is going to try to expand over here if White makes progress on that side. Okay? Nice. Knight F4. Okay. H6. Kick out the bishop. Nice. Both are good, actually. EF and rook takes both look really good. Rook takes is nice, and this attack is nice. Good play here. Nice, nice. Put the knight behind the pawn. That's what we like. That's what we like. We like that. We like that a lot. We like that a lot. Play G4. More often than not, going backwards is not the right answer. I think the stream is like dead or something, but it's fine. Rook F8. Oh my goodness. G4. G4. Well, why did we have to put the knight there? Why? Now we play G4. Now we're going to play Queen. No, Queen G5. Queen G5. H5. Boom. Nice. Bishop H6 here, Queen G5, G3, H4, all this stuff. C6. Queen G5 maybe? Queen G5? Nice. Knight H3 check is a massive threat. We don't want to take and unclog the toilet. I mean, you do want to unclog a toilet, but oh, the attack is there. Knight B5. Oh, Rook F7. You got to go Rook F7. You got to play defense. Rook F7. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Do you know that... Oh my goodness. This is so wild. This is so wild. I'm gonna remove the chat because they're just complaining about... But we're recording this for YouTube too. So YouTube, you guys are going to enjoy, and Twitch is just going to have this collapsing stream. This is very funny. I'm having a blast. I don't know why this has been happening, but it's life. Yeah, now black here loses the... I don't know why black did that. There was absolutely no need for this. The idea was knight takes c7, and yeah, I mean that's it's still gonna happen, and you have not... Wow! Queen a2 is ridiculous. Oh my. That is wild. That is... He did not play queen takes d6. He found queen a2. That is a crazy move. What? Rook down. There's nothing. There's no... Even queen d3 here is brutal. Okay. This pawn is just... Oh my god. The idea is that the knight cannot protect the king. Rook takes e1, sacrificing the rook in order to play queen takes c6, the pawn which is supposed to be an asset for white that's 2 squares away from queening, but instead you lose it and you get mate on the next move. 1, 2, and 3 pieces can stop the check, but none of them can stop the mate. Wow. Wow. And that is why you gotta just push things to your opponent's king. You never know. You gotta win the squares near the opponent's king. That is one of the only ways to make a comeback in chess. And in this case, that's what happened. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Rook e1. What white should have done instead is get the knight out. Gotta get the knight out, go to e7, go to g8. And then if this, I mean, it's still tricky. Like, look, knight e7, I mean, you know, you're attacking the queen, but gotta be really careful. Rook f7 was a mouse slip. It was a mouse slip? I don't know how you could possibly mouse slip this move. It just seems like a blunder, but, you know, maybe. King h8, there's still knight c7. Yeah, it was a tough game. I mean, white finding queen a2 is like minimum 1600. Let's see. And then, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Okay. F3. This game has... A3 is weird. A3 is a weird... That's a weird move. It's not 1500. There's no way it's 1500. You guys don't even understand what 1500 chess looks like. Now, Rook f8 is a crazy move. I feel like most players here just play g4. Ah, crack my neck. You lose. You're definitely not 2000. I don't think a 2000 plays Rook f8. I think a 2000 just goes here. So I'm getting like 1800 level vibes from this. That's what I would say. So I'm gonna get. I think it was a very controlled game. Then you lost material. Then you found a beautiful tactic. So I'm gonna say like close to 1800. 1850 versus 1900. There you go. There you go. I mean, you know, I thought it wasn't 2000, but I said 1800. It was 1900. All right, no problem. One dude was 1800. I said it wasn't 2000. You definitely lost some points for playing Rook f8. You want to get to 2000 plus, you got to play, you just got to go. I mean, you can't be playing like, there's no reason to go Rook f8. The knight is just supporting the attack. You don't actually know what you want there yet, because this guy's pressuring stuff. Very nice game. I mean, that was a nice game of chess. That was a high-level game. It's a high-level episode. All right, what did chess.com think? Let's see. Bing, 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 bong, 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 bing, 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 bing. I think it's going to criticize them. Wow. Criticize white. But black played like a 19... Black played like a very coordinated game, and then hung a rook, and then checkmated. I feel like 1500 is not nice. Yeah, the brilliant move is rook takes e1. It's the sacrifice of the rook. Very nice. Clearing out that. And the reason this works, and it's winning even if they don't take, is there's no checks. That is always the reason. Any of you have Tactics Masterclass? Any of you bought the Tactics Masterclass course on Chessly? What is like the #1 thing that I say in that course constantly? A tactic works because there is no check. That's why. Like, rook e1 worked in this game because there was no response by white. You couldn't take the rook. There was nothing that there was nothing that could be done. Nothing. So, all right. There was nothing that could be done. Nice. Oh, and queen f5 fails because you just take the queen. Thank you. Yes, casually carrying wired. Yes. I was in another Wired video. I'm actually going to be in a 4th Wired video, and that's coming out in December. And then I'm going to be in a 5th Wired video, which is also coming out in December. So I'm going to be... Has any other person been in 5 Wired videos? Or am I in like am I literally alone at the top? So, I don't know. Don't know. The cameraman? Oh! I'm not laughing. You bought my book and it's addicting. That's good to hear. Better, there's worse things to be addicted to. All right, E4, let's go. Scotch, bang, 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 bang. A mainline Scotch. Hangs pawn, pawn's hanging. It's just hanging. Why did nobody take the pawn? What? Nobody. Why did nobody? They could have just free pawn on E4. Okay. The line here goes E5, queen 7, queen 2, knight D5, C4, then pin. Then white can play H4, B3, knight D2. There's a lot of different lines here. Okay, bishop F4, poggy, froggy. Okay. Ooh, nice move, utilizing the opening of, oh, free pawn takes. Nice. I would have went bishop F4, but king B1 is fine. Best move, actually. Bishop C4, bishop D4, bishop C4, bishop D3. Get the light squared bishop out. Fine. Get the light squared bishop. What? What? What's he doing? Why would you open up the rook for the... What the... Queen H5? Oh, come on. Hit him. Bishop C4. Get more P. Why are you trading? Bishop H7. Oh my god, Bishop H7. What? You want to checkmate the guy, you're trading your most powerful piece. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? Don't hang the rook. Ah! Oh, the rook is just hanging. Why would you? What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now black is just winning. Just give a check. Stop giving checks. Stop giving checks. Stop giving checks. Oh my god. Oh my. This is. Oh my. Stop giving checks. Stop giving checks. Stop giving checks. Stop giving checks. Very lucky this doesn't win a knight because of G5 check. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now you lost your pawns. Well done. And you're still giving checks. Still giving... Oh my god, he gave a check too. Good lord. That's why I used to yell at my students. Stop giving checks in the endgame. And you lost it. That's it. Just... Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh my. That's it. Yep. And... Stalemate. I don't know, bro. I don't. $700. I don't. 680 to 730. That's the range. 680 to 730. $12.94 versus 12. Is this the same game? Now we're done. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Guess the ELO, a series where there is more drama, heartbreak, betrayal, and ecstasy than a Spanish telenovela. You know the drill. I'm going to analyze my subscribers' games, and then I'm going to try to guess their ratings. Let's get into it. You know, I go like full Mr. Crocker. Fairly godparents! So white begins the game with the move d4. Black responds with d5, and white goes for the London system. Fantastic opening choice thus far. Now here, black plays the move c5, kind of standard counter strike in the center versus the London system, d4, d5, bishop f4, c5. There are a few ways to handle this position. One of them is to take that pawn. Now, I will never truly know whether or not this person came prepared with this move or just said, ooh, free pawn, because in this position, black played a move that basically doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and that move is b5. Now, I'm not going to lie. When we had to re-record this video, I was in the process of explaining the fact that if white was about 1,000 to 1,300, I would say anywhere from 900 to 1,300, white would have snap taken. Because people at this ELO, they will basically, if if they can en passant, and it may or may not result in a giant boulder falling on one of their relatives, they will still play the move en passant because, it's such an amazing move. Like, they're just going to play c takes b6 no matter what. Like, truly no matter what. I mean, it does not matter. If they play that move and lose all their pieces, at least they played c takes b6. But white plays the move e3, which makes me think that white is just kind of sticking to their guns. White knows that for the London, they have to go here. Now, black plays... Okay, I guess, taking this all the way back to the beginning, it looks like black is just kind of playing standard stuff, but black since then has played c5, b5, a5, which I'm not going to lie, literally those were black's first 4 moves. But black could be anywhere from like 130 up until like drunk grandmaster. I mean, that's just kind of the truth. Now white takes the free pawn, it's checked. Now at this point, black cannot continue with the move e5, so black plays bishop to d7, and rather than just following it up with bishop takes bishop, white retreats back to e2. Okay, that's not a bad move. Wow. And here the players had bishop b5, bishop d7, bishop e2, bishop c8 3 times, and they agreed to a draw like any two super GMs. No, in reality, white was inspired by black's moving pawns to the 4th and 5th rank, so here white played e4 rather than just developing a knight and castling. Sometimes your opponent's doing stupid stuff throws you off. So e4. Now black, hasn't pushed all their pawns 2 squares, so black plays the move e5, pushing a pawn 2 squares as well, counterattacking the bishop, but forgetting that the bishop can actually just take the pawn. Now, black goes, wait a second, they took my center pawn, but I can also take a center pawn, so let me do that. Now 2 queens see each other. I guess you... Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, if you gave me the option to predict 20 different moves in this position, I would have never predicted that white played the move a3. The move a3 doesn't even begin to remotely make sense. I do suppose that you just, okay, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of hard to see if you're a beginner, but at least, a knight move or just kind of spotting that you could take something potentially. Okay, I mean, but it's not a blunder. Okay, well, I mean, black was inspired by white pushing the pawn 1 square, so that definitely makes sense. Simple. Okay. Now, see, that move used to guard that, so that's just an easy take. Oh, okay, so the move a3 had an idea. You wanted to push a pawn, but you wanted it to be protected. Okay, that makes sense. Black gives a check because they can. Now, does white move the king because it's the only legal move, or does white block? Okay, so white blocks. Bishop goes back, and now knight to c. Okay, beautiful. Now we're in business. Now we're doing things that make sense. Knight to d7, the knight is attacking the bishop. We don't guard the bishop, we're not really too worried about that. Now, does the knight take the bishop? I mean, you already moved the knight 1 square, you might as well kind of continue the journey. No, you move the knight, but you don't move it to the bishop, you just move it to the free square. Chess is oftentimes played on those empty squares, but you do forget that physical pieces also do stand in the way. Okay. Long castles. Now, these queens have seen each other for quite some time now, but now queen takes queen has backup and it is mate. And black, by some sort of miracle, just continues to move the horse, but inadvertently defends against checkmate. We have knight to f3, not taking the queen or the free knight. We have knight to f3, just finishing our development. Maybe it's a logical move. I mean, we're trying to play knight takes bishop, I suppose. Okay, queen to d7. Now, surely now that the queen is moved, you begin to notice that the queen can take... Nope, okay, I like that move. Very decent move. That queen used to guard the bishop. So you justify your recent knight move by taking the free bishop. g6. Okay, now, at this point, you're obviously capture thinking, right? So you've seen that you can take something, so you're starting to look what else you can capture. Perfectly... Yes. That is also something you can capture. It has nothing to do with this side of the board, but, I mean, I was sort of correct. So now rook takes, and now again you're thinking of captures. No, you're thinking of attacks. Okay, very good. c6. It actually turns out that you're a genius, because now the queen can go down all the way to the end, and that's mate, and you certainly played it. Oh! Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's my theory. These people are rated 500 tops. I'm thinking like 380 to 450. Or I'm getting trolled. This game seems too good to be true. There seem to be too many simple blunders, and